Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Barakata Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Double honors and salutations to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who rule well, to the Akim and Aquath throughout the four corners of the earth, holding on to the testimony of the Lord Amashak Yahushai. In sincerity and truth and diligence of mind, this Brother Menashe DC Camp. Short lesson for the hopeful elect, and the whole spectacle that they being broadcasted over the airwaves concerning the past of the so-called monarch in England, and all these celebrities and all these so-called civil servants and all the rich folks that attended. It just shows you how they hold these individuals, man. This so-called royal family over there in England in high esteem. In fact, all the so-called royal families on the face of the earth, of the heathen, they always hold them in high regard. They always look up to them as some utmost authority when it comes to conduct and all that stuff. But hey, all that is fading away. So that's why it's very important to understand that the world we're living in, man, it's just on its way out, man. It's on its way out, and the Lord put that vibration of righteousness out there to overshine the powers of darkness. Okay, and a lot of people are beginning to wake up, and they understand that something positive is taking place, and the minds of the people is beginning to gravitate towards liberty, towards freedom. And little do they know that the freedom that's coming in the future is from the Israelites, all right? For the so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, and so-called Native Americans, all right? Now the Lord is coming back. The Lord Hamashiach Yahushua is returning to deliver our people, or his people, the Israelites, Yasharallah, out of the hands of the oppressor, all right? And you just see so many jakes on social media, on this news broadcasts and articles, just upset at the so-called colonial mindset of these Edomites, man. So you just understand that, hey, that's the way the Lord set it up, man. White supremacy did not happen by accident, and hey, that's where the Lord set it up, man. The Lord used our people to be instrumental in getting that agenda to a high level. And when the Lord doesn't need the agenda of white supremacy anymore, it's going to crumble. It was just an illusion that the Lord allowed his people to buy into until he set up something that's righteous, okay? So, I'm gonna get this quick precept from the book of Isaiah chapter. Let me get to Isaiah chapter 24. All right, Isaiah chapter 24. I'm gonna start from verse 4. All right. So when you read that, man, it shows you that the agenda of this so-called white supremacy is about to be put to the test and knocked out of out of orbit. Okay, so Esau's power structure is on its way out. That's why you have the book of Isaiah, chapter 24. talks about it. In fact, the whole Bible talks about it. All right. So in verse 4, it says, "The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish." All right. So the earth is in mourning, man. You know, and the pride of these Edomites, man, is just falling, by the wayside, man. They just complain and getting upset at the way the world economy is being run. All right, and they complain about the management. All right, and it's all part of the agenda, you know, that the Lord has put in place to have the poor complain about the unrighteous dealings. Okay, and it's just a symptom of a fallen empire. All right, and then it says in verse 5, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. All right, why? Because they have transgressed the laws. So when you have a transgression of the Most High's laws, that comes with a consequence. It comes with an action. Comes with a balance that is due. All right, and the elites don't want to pay that balance. They don't want to pay that debt. They're always looking forward to getting out of it, looking for wiggle room and all that stuff, looking for loopholes and all that. But there is no loophole in the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. How about Shema Shai, about Shema Krakodash? We're all gonna be judged according to what the Lord has seen fit. All right. So it's gonna be rough. All right. So it says that because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenants. So the words of the Lord are everlasting, and His laws, statutes, and commandments, follow suit. So when you have a rulership upon the face of the earth that's railing against the words of the Lord, against the commandments of the Lord, what do you think is going to happen? Nothing but negativity. The negative energy is just going to engulf the whole world. That people are just going to be choking and suffocating on all these evil agendas. All right. So you just have to pray the Lord Hamashiach Yahushua gives you that breath of life, man, because our people are suffocating, you know, under the rulership of these Edomites, man. They got their foot on our neck. Just like you see that that artwork on that coin. So you just understand, man. The Lord has a way of bringing life to our situation, man. So all hope is not lost. We're almost out of here, okay? So it's about time. We go to the book of Psalms, chapter 73, because it consoles you. When you read this, the scriptures, it tells you exactly the negative vibration upon the face of the earth. Its source, and those that cherish it so bad that they're willing to destroy, people's lives so they could hold on to it, and what will be done to correct this damage. It's all in the scriptures, man. And this is what we're reading here. This is what the bitter pill of the scripture, makes us experience. So it says in verse 14, Psalms 3 and 14, "For all the day long have I been plagued and chastened every morning." All right. So the evil of this world, man, it plagues your mind, man. It messes with you, and the best option you have is the word of the Lord to combat that negative vibration. All right, because the whole foundation of the earth is out of course. You feel all the negative energy. It's just so much that you could cut it with a knife. All right, and once you have that shield of the Lord, upon thy mind, you're able to, stand firm, all right, without wavering, all right. You're able to approach, your salvation without any doubts. All right. So, you know, the Lord is building us up, man. All right, for the final test. So you have to be ready. Okay, and take the lesson, enjoy it. You know, build on it. That's what it's all about, man. The Lord is here to benefit us. Okay. And then in verse 15 it says, "If I say I will speak thus, behold, I shall offend against the generation of thy children." So two-thirds of our own people are going to be upset when we complain about the living standards of our people upon the face of the earth. The way of life upon the face of the earth. Our people want to have it in a negative uh, in a negative state without reverencing the Lord in the proper way. You know. So our people just want to go along to get a piece of crumbling mold falling off the table of these elites. So eventually, you're gonna butt heads with these people of ours, man. Because Jake, is always hard-headed. They think progress in a negative environment, by joining hand with the elites is something to be proud of. It's not worth it, man. The scripture talks about the knowledge of wickedness. It's not beneficial. It's not righteous. Okay, it's not wisdom. Okay. Then verse 16 says, "When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me." So when you think about what two-thirds have been able to accomplish in this place and how they've been an impediment to the ministry, it just makes you upset and angry. And then verse 17 says, "Until I went into the sanctuary of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai Shema Kakadash, then understood I their end." So you understand the direction they're going in, in their destination. The scripture talks about Proverbs chapter 11, verse 21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. So, hey, that's how the Lord has set it up. All right. So we have no worries about the type of judgments that the Lord will bring upon the enemies of His ministry, the enemies of His righteousness. All right. So the Lord is about checks and balances. You see all these so-called elites talking about climate change, how they're going to change the earth. That's not their job, to fix the earth. The Lord didn't put that power in their hand, to fix the world, man. The Lord didn't put that blessing upon their shoulders to bear. That blessings was for the Israelites. That's why. Yeah, that's what the scripture refers to our people. The elect as ministers, man. The ministers of righteousness. We're gonna bring righteousness upon the face of the earth. We're gonna bring peace and tranquility. Once the Lord has put down His enemies, then we're gonna get busy putting things back in order. All right. So the book of Isaiah, chapter 51. I'm going to start from verse 22 to 23. It says, start from verse 21. "Therefore hear now this, thou afflicted and drunken, but not with wine." Now who's that talking about? Our people, drunk with the ideas and philosophies of our enemies, the agenda of so-called being self-reliant. That's not what the Lord told our people, man. That we gotta call upon Him for all things, in spirit and in truth. You can't rely upon our wisdom to make it into society, especially when you have an enemy, dripping with weapons, every nook and cranny of this earth, so you have to trust in the Lord. There is no so-called resistance movement that you can build that this enemy would not be able to put down. That's why we gotta return back to our spiritual nature, all right? Calling upon the name of the Lord. All right, that's what it's all about. The righteousness of the Lord that's set before us is what we use to combat the evil and carnal vibration of this world, okay? And then it says in verse 22, thus said the Lord thy power, right? Thus said thy Lord, the Lord and thy power that pleaded the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Yeah, the cup of the Most High's chastening. All right, the Lord has to chastise our people for being belligerent and disobedient. That's why, we became victims of our own arrogance and pride. And, we're going through the healing process. And, the whole process is about to be complete. All right, that's the reason why Yahweh Shai is bringing healing in his wings. Okay. Thou shalt no more drink it again. All right, so our captivity is about to be wrapped up. Okay, and it's a beautiful expectation to have. A sign of hope that all the hell you're catching is not in vain. All right, that the Lord is going to restore you. A billionfold, a trillionfold. To where you're supposed to be in the future. All right. Then verse 23 says. But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee. All right. So all the nations that came against the men of the Lord and the children of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they're gonna have to drink of the Most High's judgment, man. Scripture talks about captivity. A captivity is nothing wrong about that. It just means employment, servitude. But when the negative intent is introduced into that, that becomes something else. So that balance has to be accounted for, okay? And that's why the enemies of our people are going to taste that. They're going to be held accountable, all right? Isaiah 51 and 23, but I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, bow down that we may go over. All right. In other words, they wanted us to acquiesce. They wanted us to submit to their will. Bend over, bend backwards, bend forwards. Roll in the mud, so they could have their authority of our people. They conquered our people. With a sword, and then they began to walk on the minds. And that's exactly how, the Lord has specified what's going to happen. And now the Lord has to do it in reverse. He has to walk on our minds to get our healings, started. And then it's going to be physical in the very, very near future. When the Lord give us that power to put our enemies in shackles and put them back in captivity. That's a beautiful experience to look forward to, all right? And thou hast laid thy body as the ground and as the street to them that went over. Yeah, so, Esau's empire accomplished a lot, at the expense of our people, including the other heathens of the world, all right? The Gadites, the North American Indians, they suffered a lot, even to this day. So you can imagine what type of restoration and reparation the Lord has in store for the tribe of Gad. All right, so it's something we always, think of. And now you could see the process of healing that the Lord has set forth. And we just gotta stay put, in the good graces of the Lord, to let Him work His work in these last days. So the book of Isaiah, chapter 49, we're going to read verse 22 and verse 23. It says, "Thus said the Lord Yahweh, Behold, I will lift up mine hand to the Gentiles, and set up my standard to the people, and they shall bring thy sons in their arms, and thy daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders." Yeah, so our people are about to be delivered from the chaos upon the face of the earth. All right, the Lord's gonna deliver us, man. You get so tired of being a slave in a society like this, in a dispensation of time like this, that the only thing you could do is just take a deep breath and lift up your head to the heavens and say a prayer to the Lord, and then the Lord, works miracles, opens up your mind to the experience that you're supposed to be acquainted with as per your salvation, because certain things have to be fulfilled according to prophecy, so we just have to abide with patience. Okay, so our children in the future are going to have lots of beautiful stories, to remember. All right, how the Lord, made a way out of an impossible situation, man. Out of something that looks so dire and lack of avenue for deliverance, and just out of nowhere, man. You see our shine in the heavens. You know that seventh trump, man. It's what we're looking forward to. That we get called up. All right. And verse 23 says, "And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers." So they're going to become our employees in the kingdom. It doesn't matter how much treasures they have upon the face of the earth. They're just sitting upon it for us. They're just warming it up. So, our future employees, man, whether they're going to be working full-time, part-time, on call, it's still the same thing. They're still going to be getting the job done. All right. So, hey, the Lord has a sense of humor. All right. They were working long hours from sun up to sundown. Serious labor. All right. Be baking us biscuits too. There's nothing wrong with eating some nice, good old warm, hot biscuits in the kingdom. Hey, we have a menu, because I like the Food Network. Yeah, you got a Food Network, you got the chef clubs and all that stuff. Hey, this heathen's going to be cooking in the kingdom, man. Cooking good, the best of spices. They got to make sure everything is done according to the specs of the chef. So that's what we're looking forward to, man. All right. And it says, they shall know, it's like they shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth. So we're going to have them in subjection. They're going to be submissive. They're just going to be docile, man. And just go along with their agenda. And if they're going to rebel, hey, we got that rod. You got the whip. We got the instruments of compliance and instruction to get them back in line. All right. And then it says, "And lick up the dust of thy feet." So, hey, they're gonna be yes, ma'am, and yes, sir, in the kingdom. The Khan Malak. That's exactly what you're gonna be hearing in the kingdom, man. You say, "Oh man, Tawada Malak." Malak here. It's going to be so beautiful when you have that power and authority of the Lord upon you, and your enemies just have no other thoughts in their mind but just to fall at the sight of you. and just submit. They be shaking at the knees and buckling back and forth. Hey, the Lord said it that way, so why not enjoy thinking about that in the future? So that's a good expectation to have, all right? And then it says, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me. So that's a beautiful precept to always consider. Man, how many words can you use to describe that? When the feeling is real, it comes to fruition. You were like, wow. I remember when I was reading these scriptures, you know, when I was in captivity, and here I am, with the Akim, you see the apostles too, taking care of business, you know, glowing in righteousness. That's exactly what we're striving for, all right? So there is no resentment towards righteousness on the part of the elect. And you just got to be praying that you're part of that number, all right? So the book of Sirach, chapter 37, we go to verse 25. It says, the days of the life of man may be numbered, but the days of Israel are innumerable. All right. So all these rich folks enjoying their wealth, their opulence, their time in the limelight and spotlight, getting all these interviews and speaking engagements and speaking fees. Hey, that's cool, but it's just the desire of mortals, man. Always begging to be in the spotlight, always want to be revered and all that stuff. But when in the kingdom, we're not going to be begging for public announcements and PR time, because we're going to own everything. We're going to own the people. We own the earth. All right. So there is no cause for being disturbed in the mind, because it's just about the Lord taking care of business. Let the process, work itself out. Okay. So you're gonna be excited, man. The same people that are living to their 70s and 80s and 90s and hundreds, that'll be peanuts, you know, in the kingdom. You're gonna be living forever and ever, everlasting rulership, everlasting dominion, an everlasting priesthood. All right, and that's something that these elites want. They want to live forever. They see they're trying so hard to preserve their so-called conscience. They want to preserve their ideals, their agenda, but it can't work with a system that the Lord has set forward. The clock is ticking for them. The sands in the hourglass is just sipping through, and they're upset, they're nervous, they're angry, and they're lashing out, man. You know. So end of the day, the Lord has the last word. He had the first and he has the last. And the elect are going to have the last laugh. And that's what it boils down to, man. You can't change the ordinances of the Lord and expect the Lord to give you a pat on the back and congratulate you for a great accomplishment. It don't work like that, man. The Lord is a strict director. He gets things done the way He says it's going to get done. All right, so that's why we have confidence in the Lord. Okay, so hey, it's a blessing, man. To live forever. You know, and that's what we're looking forward to, man. That's what we're looking forward to, and not to overextend this lesson. Just got one more precept to go, and then wrap up with another installment. So the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, and go to verse 10. He says this words of encouragement to us. Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Lord. Neither be dismayed, O Israel, right? Neither be dismayed, O Yasharala. For lo, I will save thee from afar. All right? I will save thee from afar. So when that seventh trump is activated by the Lord, and the Lord Yahushai, it's in the heavens with its angels and the deliverance stats. Wow. It's going to be a sight to behold. And thy seed from the land of their captivity. All right. So that's what we're looking forward to be saved from our captivity. And Yaquab shall return, right? And Israel shall return and shall be in rest and be quiet. And none shall make him afraid. So there'll be no so-called invading force asking for our people to make a alliance of servitude. That's not going to happen again. All right. The scripture talks about iniquity shall not raise its head a second time. Yeah. So this is the final hurrah for the elites of this world, man. They could enjoy their last few seconds of fame, and after that, it's going up in smoke. You know, that's about it. And after that, the restoration begins. All right. So just gotta be thankful to the Lord for giving us this opportunity to experience the bitter side of prophecy, and now it's time for the sweetness, to be appreciated in the kingdom. So, Abarataza, you've been edified, and you just gotta be excited about being patient, to see the work of the Lord come to pass. Bashim Yavshai, Bashim Kakadash, Shalom.